Welcome to Lesson 4, Problem and Solution. Every successful business begins with a clear understanding of the problem it's trying to solve. In this lesson, we'll define your problem, craft a compelling solution, and identify ways to connect with the right audiences. Here's what we'll cover using the Lean Canvas. First, we'll help you define the problem you're trying to solve. Then we'll explore your customer segments, craft a new unique value proposition, and discuss your unfair advantage. I'm excited to learn more about your vision. As a reminder, we'll be covering the top section of the Lean Canvas: the problem, the solution, the unique value proposition, the unfair advantage, and the customer segments. A well defined problem is specific, widely felt, and solvable. What does widely felt mean? In business terms, it's called TAM, total addressable market. As an example, most investors won't invest in any business that has a TAM of less than $1 billion. You might think $10 million is big, but what percentage of the market do you think you could capture in a year? Over 5 years? Are there competitors that already have market share? Specific enough. In the Uber example, we talked about a solution that offered a low cost transportation option that was accessible on demand. It wasn't about solving the city's public transportation problem or fixing the taxi industry. By solvable, it means that within a year or 2 years' time, you could see examples of how this might work. For example, Netflix couldn't have become the streaming service it is now if we didn't have broadband and the compression capabilities to digitize the movies. They didn't invent those things. Those were just necessary inventions for them to execute on their vision. Take a moment to reflect. What are the problems you're trying to solve? Why does it matter? Who does it affect? How big is the problem? Pause here, jot down your answers. This clarity will help you move forward with purpose. Your solution should directly address the problem. Using the I'm going to quote root problem you're going to address by solution or opportunity you're going to build, let's use this template to go through some examples. Google Classrooms. I'm going to reduce the number of platforms teachers and students have to use to learn online by creating a learning management system right in Google Drive so that they don't have to leave the Google environment to teach. Executive coaching. I'm going to help new school principals onboard into their new schools by giving them a playbook for the first year based on the experience of the top 100 principals in the country. Make sense? Now it's your turn. Make your solution as specific as possible. Are you going to help students succeed in small group interventions, or are you going to guide new superintendents through their first 100 days with a clear plan? Pause here to refine your ideas and connect them with your audience's needs. Who are your customers? Include those who make purchasing decisions, people who identify whether a new solution is needed. Think about the different roles in a district: the cabinet, senior administrators, department heads, grants makers, and principals. How are the segments different in different states, like California versus Florida or Washington versus Georgia? What kind of attributes do your customers have? Are they change makers and innovators? Are they dissatisfied because of inefficiencies? Or do they have a lot of prior relationships and experience with other solutions providers or tools? For now, don't include users. Let's just focus on the customers. They'll show up in other parts of the canvas anyway. Pause here to brainstorm and define your customer segments. Who identifies the problem? Who makes the purchasing decisions? Add these insights to your lean canvas, and this clarity will guide your business strategy and many of the other sections. Your unique value proposition is what sets your business apart. It could be a cheaper solution, it could be a better experience. Ask yourself, what is the solution? How does it benefit my customer? And most importantly, how is it better or different or more advanced than my competition? Could it be a cheaper solution, or is it a better overall user experience, or is it technologically more advanced? Just don't say that you could do it better or the others aren't doing a good job. It's likely your competitors are thinking about this and working with hundreds of clients and have done thousands of implementations. This just doesn't happen because of good sales and marketing if they have a product that doesn't meet your expectations. It happens because they're filling a need, and you have to really understand the kind of need that they're really filling before you start developing your go to market strategy. Now it's your turn. Say your value proposition out loud. Would you be excited if you were in your customer's shoes? Refine it until it clearly communicates and benefits the solution in a way that's compelling and easy to understand. Then put it in your lean canvas. Take a moment now to reflect, pause the lesson, and write down your unique value proposition in the lean canvas. Let's break down unfair advantage into some categories. First, it's experience. As an educator, you have incredible practical knowledge that non educators just wouldn't have. Next is context. Your understanding of the industry and the inner workings helps you anticipate some of the challenges, just like understanding budget cycles. And finally, connections. Your network can open doors others can't access right away. These are the strengths and advantages that you have. And you also need to identify the gaps that you have so that you could grow. For example, my unfair advantage is that I have exposure to many industries. And as a result, I've seen many strategies that work that haven't entered the education market yet. And so a lot of times I'm using those strategies to apply into the education space before anyone else does. Write down your unfair advantage. How is it uniquely different than your peers who may also be starting a business? Or how is it different than the existing competitors in your space? Think about your unique strengths and your experiences. Your unfair advantage needs to be clear so that you can emphasize it in your solution and differentiate yourself from your competitors. Pause here to complete this section. In the next lesson, we'll continue to work on the other sections of the Lean Canvas together. But take a few days and continue to reflect and continue to refine the sections that you worked on in this lesson. As you work through the next lesson, don't be afraid to continue to revise the sections from this lesson. You'll learn more and you'll have new ideas that you want to shape in the Lean Canvas as you go through it. The more crisp you could get and more refined in the canvas you can get, the easier it'll be to execute. Finally, share your thoughts and ideas with the community. The more you give to others, the more you'll get in return. Trust me. I used to be scared to share my ideas and the ahas that I've learned along the way, only to learn that other people had those ahas before me and they had new insights and new knowledge that they could share with me so that I didn't have to learn them for the first time. And so that's why you're here in this course and in the community so that you could continue to learn at a faster rate than I did.